This is a very interesting topic because the previous speaker spoke about elegance, and I'm also going to speak about elegance. But no, I'm not going to speak about mathematics. What a relief. Um, Fortunately or unfortunately, music also has a lot of mathematics. But more than mathematics, music has a lot of design. In fact, music is nothing if not the design of sound. And what I'm going to talk about and what I'm going to hopefully discuss with you is how this design gets formed. Okay, but my voice is not going to be as interesting as listening to music, so let's start with a little bit of music. I want whoever is everybody comfortably seated? Are you sitting next to people you like, hopefully? And if not, hit the person next to you and move to somebody who's sitting next to you, because one of the most important things about listening to music is that you've got to be a little relaxed. This is not an exam. So relax now and indulge me if everybody, for the next couple of minutes, can just close your eyes. Okay? And just listen to this. Okay, open your eyes now. I don't know if most people recognize the tune, but what I attempted to play was Vande Mataram. And most people usually will get it, including people who are 18 years old, who grew up on Facebook and MySpace rather than the kinds of things we grew up on. What happens when you listen to music is that it puts you in a different space, right? For most people, when you close your, that's why I asked you to close your eyes, because I remove you from the present. I remove you from whatever you can see around you, temporally, spatially. And you listen to Vande Mataram, for some people, you know, it can conjure up nationalism. For some people, it can conjure up A.R. Rahman. For some people, it can conjure up, I don't know, whatever is in your very colorful imaginations. But the thing is that it puts you in a different space. Music can create a different space. Music always creates a different space. Supposing I were to play something like this. What a wonderful country we are, that this, even if I play it badly, everybody recognizes. Oh, very well. Anyway, so different space, different time, different sets of people. How incredible that a precise combination of notes and a precise combination of proportions, we all experience it as music and say, oh, it's bindas, I enjoy it. That's a different thing. But it also puts you in a different space. Music can create a space, right? If I play something like this, no, not Sheila Ki Jawani. It's very possible that I can tell you that I was trying to create the idea of a fountain. I was trying to create the idea of fields of gold, which some of you may know is by Sting. I think maybe Jinu and Deepa might agree that the kind of artist that I'm saying will pretty much give away how old I am. But the idea of space, once again, the music's most fundamental effect on all of us, as not just as listeners, but as experiencers, is to create the experience of space, right? Many of you go into supermarkets, all of you go into malls, right? What is typically the kind of music you hear? You usually hear Western music, you hear pop music, or you hear rock music, or increasingly you hear Bollywood music, but you usually hear fast-paced music, right? Why do you think that is? Why do you think they play fast-paced music in a mall? Huh? Because they want everybody to go to the bathroom. No. Actually, it is to increase movement, right? One of the things they do in malls is to play music fast so that people keep walking around, right? Whereas you go into a spa, or you go into a relaxation center, or whatever they call it these days, oxygenation centers, right? They play music like this. You keep hearing music like this and you'll go to sleep. Because again, it's creating a space. It's the effect of music, and that's the first point I wanted to make. The effect of music on the brain is that it first works spatially. It creates, we all say, oh, this reminds me, when I hear this song, it reminds me of my childhood. When I hear this song, it reminds me of, that last day of graduation. When I hear this song, it reminds me of this particular friend, or this particular actor or actress, or whatever it is. We think that we are thinking of people, but actually what it's creating is mentally a picture of a particular place, a particular surrounding, a particular proportion that you associate with it. So, to start with, music creates space. You'll be interested to know that some of the world's most interesting architectural structures, let's take the Sydney Opera House. Everybody knows what that looks like. You take, the Sears Tower in Chicago. I mean, interesting places, and very, very importantly, temples in South India, the Madurai Meenakshi Temple. Gothic cathedrals, the cathedral in Cologne, which is one of the largest Gothic cathedrals in the world. You'll be interested to know that almost all the people who've constructed these buildings, the architects, the designers for these buildings, were all musicians. And if you go through their records, if you go through what they have said about the construction of it, music has been going on in their brain all the time. In fact, for most of us, life without a cell phone that has an interesting ringtone, or an iPod which we constantly listen to, or is it possible to even imagine life without music on the go? It's not. And it's the same, it has been across centuries. It's the same, it's been across ages. And music has inspired the creation of spaces, right? So it's very interesting to go into the mind of the person who constructed the Sydney Opera House and figure out what kind of music was he listening to at that time. What made him tick in terms of music that helped him create that space. I was very privileged to hear or to learn that this piece that I'm about to play is a very simple piece. It's by this Western classical composer called Bach, inspired the architect who created the Cologne Cathedral